I had a pleasant talk with Jocelyn Williams, the AFL-CIO, at an immigration reform rally May 30th, and he said it was fine to contact his office to discuss how my anti-homeless labor union, Communications Workers of America, never conducted a proper skills assessment of me after I left my shared group job raising money for Obama and nonprofits in the committee of the whole message, which I'll refer to committees. Michael Milby of the D.C. Attorney General's office at the last minute, before your hearing, agreed to settle my lawsuit and give me $303 on unemployment insurance I was entitled to ask for because D.C. case managers with nearly obvious black discrimination against my white race postponed my Workforce Investment Act training at Georgetown until January or February of 2011 after my 99 weeks of unemployment insurance were exhausted, after I earlier tried to enroll in WIA at George Washington University in January of 2010, where professors did not understand the program, and had Strayer in accounting in June 2010, when I could not attend because a voucher was issued a day late. I was pleased to see Tommy Wells sponsored a job fair at Tyler School on May 31st, which I attended, yet I found out about it at Gonzaga or McKenna Center and not the CCNV. We weren't notified. Mayor Gray is totally wrong to ask for escrow from CCNV residents. I could release soon my complaint to the U.S. Attorney's Office in Massachusetts due to a court case about my share group's finances. I filed it there, but I allege that Mayor Gray's administration was nearly keeping me under house arrest since I completed my Georgetown Certificate in Project Management program in February of 2011 with only $113 to $200 in the bank in every month except one. In recent weeks, service has gotten worse with CCNV refusal to do laundry because their machine was broken for 3 weeks. CCNV closing of their free clothing room for unknown reasons, and CCNV discontinuing of early morning wake-ups at 6 a.m. CCNV gets very few invitations to job fairs or community meetings, with only one in Ward 6 at 1523 D Street Southeast, which was catering to ex-convicts in October of 2012. I feel I should complain to the U.S. Interagency Council on Homelessness that I was victimized by caseworkers on a program Hilda Solis claims is helpful to homeless veterans, Workforce Investment Act, when the D.C. Department of Employment Services has, according to its own June 30th, 2012 report, which I have a copy of, DOS admits it only placed 59% of WIA certificate completers in 2012, less than the 72% agreed levels, and only 47% of veterans, a national disgrace. I only got three interview offers in 2 years from a program for wealthy U.S. Department of Defense executives at the Georgetown Certificate of Project Management. I will type more in addition to the printed statement of today on a postponed National Opinion Research Corporation interview in Chicago. There was one nonprofit place near the Hill that interviewed me twice. I'm not sure if I probably should not give out their name today. The National Opinion Research Corporation probably heard some old friends of mine in Chicago where I resided for 21 years. I was in Chicago Cook County for 21 years before I came here. But I postponed it due to the fact I was financially and emotionally intimidated because I didn't have enough money for a round-trip ticket there because Mayor Gray's office would not release his $303. Now that I have it, I may go there because I don't believe that the D.C. community should intimidate Chicagoans from interviewing me either, Mr. Graham. I was born there. I have more family friends there for many years. Now, there's also a desired talk with the Center for Social Justice. I noticed, Jim, you and David Catania have hired a staff for your committees, but despite the David Grosso's election and voter trends for more accountability, Muriel Bowser has 0 staff members working on the Committee for Economic Development, many wealthy people trying to get access to her. I'm a little bit more respectful of Marion Berry's needs in Ward 8 with poverty, but he seemed to be persuaded to do without a staff person on workforce and community affairs. And I would just politely want to say to Marion, in order to get the best deal for Ward 8 from the Workforce Investment Act program and the other programs, it would be good if he designated a contact person, a liaison person for workforce and community affairs issues, maybe with his staff, or something like that. I did want to just say that I need to add on some more issues. The machine was, my printed statement is correct about the machine being broken for 3 weeks at CCNV for the laundry. The machine was probably repaired only yesterday before your meeting. But I want to give an example of a professor who is insensitive to the homeless. My project management professor in the Workforce Investment Act program, Jeff Stempian, originally from Chicago, seems a conservative U.S. Department of Defense executive from Fredericksburg, Virginia, a major Confederate Civil War battleground. I gave Jeff an A- at my July 14th, 2011 stakeholders meeting at the U.S. Department of Education, but Jeff gave 0 responses to my emails asking for advice or reference. Jeff gave a good events planning exercise, but he did not have an internship in the program, so there were deficiencies below what the WIA wanted for marketability, employability skills, trying to for the project management profession, Jim, has an average salary of $77,000 per year. It was getting money from the Workforce Investment Act program, which has a legal mission from Congress to include homeless shelter residents and food stamp recipients. The Workforce Investment Act average is $13,000 per year. Monica West, my DOS caseworker, was stingy and kept me trapped in isolation at the CCNV. There was lack of sincerity in helping me find a job from DOES. There were no, according to WIA standards, was evidence no social introductions to employers, no green jobs fairs, and inability with only $113 in the bank since February 2011 to attend most Project Management Institute events in Virginia. So they were kind of faking going through a job search. They weren't sincere about helping me. They just kind of told me to go fill out civil service applications, and this ended up in a controversial
Mr. Slavinik, you're now double the time that's allocated.
Okay, I need to talk about
your witness number 68.
Okay.
And so we've got all these people left who want to say something. So can you summarize your statement for us, please?
Well, okay, I did not get placed. 2 issues. The people who ran the Georgetown program kept on giving me lists of jobs with which had more work experience and more of a salary than I wanted, and the D.C. government did the same with an $85,000 healthcare finance job with 1 year Medicaid experience. I didn't get placed. They wouldn't help me get a part-time job, and I want Anita Bonds to talk to the Center for Social Justice at Georgetown, which serves the D.C. and the poor, not the Virginia rich. We have a problem with Artie Duncan because some right-wing conservatives have persuaded his Greenville, Texas office to, in defiance of my debt discharge, to continue to ask for money to pay for student loans that were discharged and forbid me from getting any financial aid. I was at the CCNV for the past 8 years because Margaret Spellings violated department policy by putting my loans in default.
Is this a summary of your testimony?
Well, we have a problem with Artie Duncan and the way he's handled this debt discharge thing. I need to talk to David Catania about it because Artie Duncan's going on with some right-wing extremists, especially with Margaret Spellings. I didn't want me to ever return to the 44th Ward, partially because the alderman there is gay, Tom Tunney, and there's a lot of gays in the community, and partially due to my views on the Iraq War. So that's the reason that I'm against the 2-year limit, but I think there should be a special hearing with David Catania to remind Artie Duncan and Barack Obama of the origins of the Democratic Party. We're for gay rights. We're not for Chuck Hagel and these Republican defense executives getting too much money and not caring about the homeless.